Hello once again, one and all, and welcome back to Conquest of Azeroth, and hello to a new level 30 video. Chronomancer. Chronomancer is a caster class that actually uses a mix of int and spirit to actually increase its strength. Now, it has three specs. You've got Artificer, you have Infinite, and you have Time. The first one we're going to take, well, no. Ahead of myself. The class itself so far is fun. Leveling is a little interesting. Your first spamable ability is a very weird rapid ticking dot that lasts only a couple seconds. You get some decent abilities quickly. You start off with a heal, and by about level 5 is when you really start getting some of your better abilities that really help you push through the leveling stuff. At level 10, getting access to your talents and your specs definitely helps. Level 10 PvP is interesting to say the least. Early battlegrounds are hard because people see a Chronomancer and you are one of the easiest classes to kill. You do have a couple really good movement, really good CC abilities in your Clasp of Infinity, which bounces to multiple enemies when that are near each other and locks them in place. You have a 3-charge slow that's really good. You have Waves of Time, which basically can blast people back, and it repeats once after you cast it. Really good. Your mana, you will run out of mana very quickly playing this spec. This class. Across all the specs, you will run out of mana quickly. But it actually has one of the cooler ways to regenerate mana. Timeout. Timeout puts you in stasis, which reduces the damage you take, but you instantly regenerate, like, hold on, I'll even show you. Actually, no. It regenerates 50% of your maximum mana, and then over the next few seconds, it generates the rest of your mana. This will take you from no mana to full mana if you use it. The downside is you were locked down for 3.5 seconds. It kind of sucks. And if you're healing, those 3.5 seconds can be very critical. But this is also it's a really good way to regenerate your mana. What also helps is in your class spec tree, you have luck, which allows most of your mana regen to continue while you're in combat. This is a must across all specs. Without this, your mana is unsustainable. With this, your mana problems are a lot easier to deal with. You regenerate mana enough that even if you run out of mana, you can at least still be kind of useful in the fight. And then once you're out of fight, you can quickly pop time out and regen your mana, or drink something and get most of your mana back, even if you're using weaker mana drinks. Waves of Time and Clasp of Infinity are both, starter abilities you get in this tree. Grabbing Time Guard is a great idea because it helps reduce the damage you take if you're below a certain threshold for three attacks, but it does have a 2-minute cooldown, so it's a decent CD, a defensive CD. Rippling Power just flat increases your spirit. Again, this is something really good to grab. I would definitely say grabbing Unearthed Pools. It affects your Unearth, which is your first spamble, and whatever it gets turned into, reducing its cast time and reducing its mana cost, the mana cost of your instant spells. This is kind of a must as well. You have Desynchronization here, which basically is a disarm, and then once an enemy is disarmed, they can't regenerate health for a little bit. You got Temporal Anomaly over here, which reduces the damage you take, or no, it takes half the damage you take, and it heals you for that amount of damage after the duration ends. So a decent panic heal. A Fortified Timeline pairs with Accelerated Recovery up here, which you get if you're the healing spec. Basically takes this heal over time and extends its duration on everyone around you, or that has it on them. And then you have Temporal Focus, which locks yourself in a perfect moment. Basically, it is your CC break, so it's it's decent to have. Other than that, you've got your run-of-the-mill stuff, affecting abilities, increasing the effects of your self-buffs, so on and so forth, kind of what you would expect. Infinite Clones is this ability you get where basically you leave a clone of yourself that locks your health and mana. So I'm just going to pop this. I'm going to do that. do this and use up all my mana real quick. And then, boop. It's got a 10-second timer, so if you don't use the recall in 10 seconds, you lose it, but it's really good. Like, if you want to start a fight, or you're getting into a high burst phase, you pop this, and you burn through your mana, then you come out of it, use your rewind, and then go back to spot, and just keep going. Another great way to help manage your mana. Taking a look at the first spec, Artificer. Artificer's a wand spec. It literally focuses around using your wand. And holy shit, does it single target damage. Fuck. Like, it's a very slow buildup of your damage, but once you reach the critical mass of the debuffs you need to put on an enemy with it, you will out single target most other classes. There are a few classes that will out target you, and you have next to no AoE. You are very limited on AoE, and it really shows with this class. This class just kind of sucks in AoE at level 30. The two abilities you get right off the start is Artificer's Wand, which turns your Unmake into Artificer's Wand, which fires 2 wand attacks. You use it. This stacks up Shattered Echo, or Echo Fragments, which you then spend to use Shattered Echo to deal a decent chunk of damage, and it almost increases the damage of this skill by half per Echo Fragment, which you can have up to 5. Your Wand of Time ability will be buffed by your Echo Fragments, which will give it a chance, which will let it generate an extra, which will cause it to generate an Echo Fragment. It also says that decomposition now spends Echo Fragments. This currently is bugged and does not work. It's supposed to increase the damage of the spell. It does not. It just spends the Echo Fragments and does nothing. I have put in a bug report about this. Another ability you get is Singularity Core, which is a self-buff you get, which consumes Echo Fragments to increase its duration. Basically, it causes your wand attacks to fire a third projectile for half damage, plus a little arcane damage, turning you basically into a wand minigun. You have actually several. These are continuum spells. You can only have one of these up at a time, and there's quite a few of these. The two other abilities you can grab are Unstable Chronoglass, which basically redirects spells enemies cast back at themselves, kind of good for PvP. And another continuum spell called, well, two more continuum spells. The first one is Flux Emitter, causes your wand attacks to hit multiple targets for reduced damage. Again, its duration is increased per Echo Fragment you use. And then you have Paradox Cannon, which causes you to, instead of dealing extra damage, you now generate Echo Fragments every couple seconds to, spam your Shatter Echo or Decomposition when it starts working again. For the passives of this tree, you have Cabbage of Time, which causes your Discordance to now generate multiple Echo Fragments. Generate an Echo Fragment. You have Artificer's Empowerment, another thing that stacks your spirit. Wand Master. Discovery, which I would definitely take Discovery. Discovery and then Archaeology below it are two of the best abilities to grab for helping assuage your mana issues. Concentrated Fate, Bronze Echoes, Hyper Wand, Elder Wand, Temporal Convergence, Conductive Burst, and that's all you can get to currently really at level 30. Well, no, you could also grab Clocked In and Hands of Time as well. So those are what you can grab at level 30, and the passives up to level 30 for this are Echo Fragments, which I've already talked about. Wand Expert increases your ranged attack power by 100% of your spirit and increases your hit rating by 5% of your spirit. So stacking spirit really helps. And at level 30, you get Crystal Cannon, which causes Discordance to now unleash 2 extra wand attacks that enemies hit by Discordance for quick damage, and it scales with spirit. This spec in PvE, great for single target clearing. High damage, high burst. Well, actually, high sustain, not high burst. It does great. In PvP, again, you can take out single targets like it's no one's business. You can bust shields. You can melt through absorb shields. You can take down healers. You deal crap tons of single target damage. Downside, you're squishy. The moment they realize you're there throwing wand bolts at them, most classes will turn and burn you. I have found that out the hard way. And really, you need to have a front line to keep enemies off you, because if they get close to you, there's nothing you can do. You can slow them down, you can knock them back, but they're still going to kill you before you can get anywhere, unless you are incredibly lucky, which I've only gotten lucky a couple of times. After this, we have the next spec, which is going to be Infinite. Infinite's a dot spec. And that comes with a whole list of problems. Again, like Artificer, it does great single target damage. It is a very slow buildup of damage, because, and I'm going to go over this in rotation of how you do it, because it kind of makes sense better that way. The first thing you want to use is Unmake, which is the second ability you get in the spec talent tree. This causes all of your dots to deal damage around the target that's got Melt Reality on it, making it AoE. Not a lot of AoE damage, but enough. Immediately following that, you'll want to drop the first ability you get, Time Rend, which is what this skill turns your Wand of Time, Jesus, into Time Rend, which is a very low duration dot. Then you want to use Decomposition, and then spam the shit out of Unmake until either Discordance pops up because of the talent Chronological, or you use Chromatic Shard. And when it pops off cooldown after 10 stacks. Now, while you're casting all of this, your first passive at level 10 will be... one of the class passives you get, spec passives you get, is called Anomaly Spikes. Periodic damage now has a 50% chance to launch an Anomaly Spike at your target, which does a decent chunk of damage. Each Anomaly Spike that hits reduces the cast time of Chromatic Shard by 10%, for 30 seconds, and it stacks up to 10 times for a free cast, for an insta cast, which is when you want to use Chromatic Shard. And basically, the rotation is Melt Reality, Time Rend, Decomposition, Unmake, reapply, Time Rend and Decomposition when needed, reapply Melt Reality when it is on, when your target dies or goes away on a target. Use Discordance and Chromatic Shard off cooldown when they pop. Honestly, the AoE damage this spec does is kind of crap. It does decent damage if you get like super big packs, but in like two or three mob packs, it doesn't do a lot. You're really good at melting single targets, and again, in PvP, it's the exact same thing. So the passive talents that I have not gone over, I've already gone, are Mind Melt, Deconstruction, Warp Striker, Chronological, Unearth Power, Time Means Nothing, Hourglass of Eternity, Excruciating Discord, and Time Lost Power. All in all, I love the spec and how it feels like it should play. Hold on, I forgot the class passives of Gift of the Infinite, Dragonflight, and Warping Reality. I love Infinite in what it could be. Right now, it doesn't feel good to play. I don't like dot specs for the most part because they're really just too slow to get their damage up. And then it's complicated to keep that damage up because you have to keep reapplying your dots. And the moment you run out of mana, which will happen with this class because you are a mana whore, it really, really nerfs your damage until at level 30. In PvP, you deal damage. You don't deal as much damage as an Artificer, but you deal good damage. You could pop your dots on a target and run the fuck away. Now, if there were a way to spread your dots instead of just, spreading the damage they do, but you could actually spread your dots to other targets, really, I think that would be really nice. But as it stands right now at level 30, it just does not feel good. Your damage is low and slow to build up to its maximum potential. And knowing by that time in PvP, you're dead. In PvE, most everything's dead unless it's a boss. You're really good at boss clear. I think what would help that class, as I said, is an ability that would allow you to either spend or double the duration of your dots, or rewind your dots, as it were, to help keep that damage up or increase it. As it stands right now at level 30, there is nothing like that. There might be something later in the spec tree or in the class abilities you get. I don't know. Hopefully I find out. But as it stands right now, nothing. The last spec we are going to take a look at is Time. Time is your healing spec. It's actually a really good healing spec. Most of its kit centers around its aeons, which are your basically all four of your three aeons that you get at level 30 are your passives you get at level 10, 20, and 30. You got Aeon of Resilience, Aeon of Protection, and Aeon of Renewal. And swapping between these is fairly simple, and it definitely helps. You get abilities such as... Well, no, you get two abilities in this tree of Ripple and Correct the Mistake, which are both AoE heals. Ripple is great because if you channel it for its full duration, it will heal your entire party for almost their entire max health, which is really good if you could time it correctly. Correct the Mistake is a spammable AoE heal that costs quite a bit of mana as a 2.5 second cooldown. A 2.5 second cast time. Correction, sorry about that. Other than that, with this, your go-to healing will be the heal Epoch, because you get two heals baseline in the class. Reverse Wound, which is just a spammable basic heal, and Epoch, which heals targets for an immediate amount of damage, but then also gives you a Sands of Time buff, which reduces the cast time of Epoch by 20%. So you can keep spamming it, and it gets faster and faster and faster until you get to the 5th stack. Then it's instant, and then you have to restack the stacks. All of your Aeons interact with this. And normally I stay on Aeon of Resilience for the reduced cast time and reduced mana cost, and it reduces the damage taken by the target you heal for 5%. And this really is good, because you could spam this all day long. And so keeping a tank alive is really easy. Healing a party is really easy with this spec. Now, normally I do not like playing healing specs, but I definitely enjoyed this one. The passive skills are Sands of Life, Endless Sands, which is where you get... Endless Sands, which makes your Reverse Wounds cast time reduced by 20% and it stacks up to 5 times for an instant cast. Time Wizard, Keep Accelerating, Time Beacon, Cadence of Time, Carbon Dating, Timeless, and then you can get Fabric of Time, which is a quick heal that has a 15-second cooldown that makes your next Aeon you switch to instant and trigger no cooldown or cost. So it kind of helps with swapping between them fairly effectively. I took this into PvP. And now, for me, taking any kind of healer spec into PvP outside of Malevolence is a no-go. I don't enjoy it because I just feel like a big walking target. I decided to take this one into PvP and see how it did. And it did good. I quite literally was standing within my entire team, locking down opponents and just casting my AoE heals or applying accelerated recovery, and just keeping my team alive. If someone came after me, I'd lock them down and run the fuck away. Normally my team would converge on the enemy because I'm Doctor. Never fuck with Doc. So in PvP, this healing spec actually does pretty good healing, and it makes it in because you could spam its heals the more you use them. Self-healing and keeping yourself alive when you're being ambushed is actually pretty effective. In dungeons, tanks that like to run ahead really can be a problem because of the initial cast time of Epoch. So it can really be a pain in the ass to catch up to tanks who are, as the community puts it, zug-zugging. Now, if you can keep up with the tank and keep them alive, oh, it's easy. It's just making sure the tank doesn't get suicidal. Overall, I'm enjoying it. I wasn't thinking I was going to enjoy Chronomancer because I've heard a lot of negative things about Chronomancer, but its 2 damage specs are pretty decent. Artificer is the clear winner at level 30, and Unmake and Infinite has the potential to be good. I just really hope it gets better at level 30. That's just what I'm hoping. PvP for this class again, from levels 10 to 20 and 20 to 30, you are a big target. You're squishy. You really don't have much in the way of mobility. You can lock down enemies, but enemies with dashes or movement speed abilities can close the distance on you very quickly and eat your anus. With all that said, now we're going to talk about the other thing that happened in the last couple days. Season 10 got announced. Oh my fucking god. Ascension just released Koa like 2 weeks ago. I need to be able to sleep. I need to be able to eat. I have household chores to do. I have these videos to make. Ascension, I don't have the time for this shit, please. With all that said, I've watched the video and I've got the link to it in a community post on my page. So if you're interested in taking a look at that, by all means, go ahead. It's fucking wild. And I am definitely going to be playing it. I just don't know if I'm going to be making content on it yet. I might, I may not. That's up in the air still. I have to figure that out and how I'm going to work that out because burnout is real and I haven't reached that point with Koa yet. But if I start playing Season 10, I might reach that burnout point a lot faster. I am sorry if I'm a little kind of scatterbrained today. I didn't get a lot of sleep. I didn't go to bed till like fucking 8 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. But hopefully y'all enjoy this, and if you have, please feel free to leave a like or a comment below. Like lets me know y'all want to see more of this. And a comment helps me with the algorithm, and I love talking to y'all. If you want to see more of my content, because I've got a bunch of videos ranging from mostly Koa stuff recently to other games and shit in the past that just kind of are sitting there collecting dust. Feel free to subscribe. I try to upload at least a couple times a week. I need to get back into doing streams, but between working on these videos and other shit, I gotta manage my time better, to be honest. But with all that said, I hope to see you all again in the next one. Bye-bye.